Yo, after the show. Before being Berry Gordy's National Director of Promotions and Public Relations for Motown Records, launching the careers of the Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and the Supremes. Before publishing Mellow Yellow, the legendary no-holds-barred, truth-telling black music and radio industry trade Bible that everybody wanted a copy of but knew it could make or break you as an artist. Before being honored by the Nevada Broadcasting Hall of Fame, the Black Radio Hall of Fame, and the Smithsonian Institution for his excellence in the radio industry. And of course, it was before creating a 2-decade-long running, nationally known music conference that served as a platform for artists like Prince, Gladys Knight, Billy Eckstine, Jerry Butler, Babyface, Regina Belle, MC Hammer, LL Cool J, The New Kids on the Block, Brand Nubian, Dr. Dre, Busta Rhymes, Young Jeezy, Heavy D, Ludacris, Tupac, T.I., Jermaine Dupri, Criss Cross, Tribe Called. You know what? Let me just say everybody was there. Let me take you back. It was the 1940s. A Chicago disc jockey whose real name was Joseph Dayton Gibson Jr. went by the DJ name Jockey Jack. He met an accountant and a finance guy named Jesse B. Blayton Sr., and they became friends. So when Jesse Blayton decided he wanted to buy a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia, he sent for Chicago's Jockey Jack. And in 1949, they launched the first Black-owned and operated radio station in America, WERD Radio. Hold on. You know what? I'm about to make a phone call. I just thought about it. I know exactly who I want to talk to about Jack the Rapper. Hold on. Right now. Wait a second. Let me dial him. Dial him up right now.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Luther.
Yo, Jen.
Man, I'm so glad I could sit down with you today on Yo After the Show.
Yo After the Show is appropriate because I use yo all the time.
Okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm so happy today I can sit down with my man, Luther Clark. Back in 1998, I met Luther Clark when he was the promotions manager for Columbia Records. I was a young, spry kid coming into MCA Records at the time in the promotions office. We're talking today about WERD Radio, which was the first black radio station ever owned in the United States. The first DJ to crack the mic at WERD was DJ, they called him Jockey Jack. But we know him from 1976 and beyond as Jack the Rapper.
I had the opportunity to meet Jack and to know him personally. Actually, I met Jack before I got into the music business. Vaughn Harper, the DJ that pretty much took the Quiet Storm to the next level, Jack called him to say he needed. I played for the WBLS Short Shots. Vaughn Harper was the coach, and my buddy Tony played on the team. And Jack was just tired of Coca-Cola beating him because they were one of the major sponsors. Mm-hmm. And Jack flew me down back in the late 80s, me and Tony, and we ended up beating Coca-Cola that year. Mm-hmm. And that was my first introduction to Jack back in 80, I think it was 88, 89. And then I was cool with him until his death. You know, and then once, like, I had a personal relationship with him. You know, when he had cancer, we went to visit him later on down the line. When he had cancer, we went out to Vegas to visit him.
Yeah.
And it was a new ward at the hospital. And that was when, I think I was in my 40s then. Mm. And there was guys that were in their 20s, 30s, 40s that had cancer with Jack. And I think when Jack had cancer, I think Jack had to be in his 60s, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was about his 60s.
In the 90s, I heard, after 96, because he had ended.
No, but I'm just talking about how old he was, you know, because because of him, I got my first colonoscopy at 42 because of Jack.
Nice.
When it's normally 50, and I remember when I got it done, I called him. I can't really say what he said, you know, but just imagine, you know, listen to Jack, because he talked fast, and like I said, he talked fast, and you know, so that's what I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I'm glad you got it, and I hope people listening will go absolutely make sure they keep health first and check and make sure that everything is always maintained and okay.
Jack was a very powerful man in the business, but he also was a fair guy, and he had no problems with cursing you out as well.
You funny.
That's why we called him Ghetto Fabulous Jack.
Okay. He kept it real.
He kept it. He just kept it so real. See, the music business is a real small business, okay? So therefore, being that it was a small community, basically, obviously the SVPs got to know the VPs, but even reps, if you was cool, it was no problem with getting Jack's information, calling him, talking to him, emailing him, and he would hit you back. You see, so the convention would start like Thursday, it would end on Sunday, and usually during that time you had a lot of interaction with Jack because the convention was when it first started, it was real small. Started out there at the Marriott at Atlanta Airport.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
about 1976 when he started Jack the Rapper convention, right?
Right, something like that. I forgot. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what happens was you had the labels, you had the artists, you had the reps. So that's what I'm saying. It was real small.
Yeah.
You understand? Outsiders wasn't allowed in. You had to be a part of the music business to be allowed into Jack the Rapper. Back in July, we had Jack the Rapper remix. And it was the first ever Michael Malden, who was my boss at Columbia Records. We did a 30-year celebration of Kenny Lattimore's album. And, we honored J.D., which is Jermaine Dupri, Jagged Edge. But it was called Jack the Rapper Remix. And just what we would do, having panels, guests and awards. Same thing we did at Jack the Rapper. We did at Jack the Rapper Remix on a smaller scale. But it turned out real nice. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was there. KP, Karan Prater. I worked with him at Sony, great Grammy-winning producer. So Anthony Hamilton received an award. Jack's daughter Jill was there. She was happy about attending, and so overall, I was like on cloud nine. I was just, we all was talking to people, and we were just happy that we was able to do this and do it bigger and better next year.
Well, I can tell you this. I have read so much about Jack, the rapper. Gibson, I heard that he was a beautiful man, loved by so many people. And if you could describe him, I don't know if there's one word you can say to describe him, but if
you can't.
Yeah, I don't think
you can't. No, you can't. I mean, I'm not going to even do it to myself.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
No, you can't. There's not one word that you could describe Jack. I mean, only thing I could just say is Jack. I don't use the word was, even though I always say is, because I still think about him. His spirit still is in me. I just say Jack is definitely a cool dude.
Yeah, iconic for sure. There's no question in my mind as to why he was the gentleman chosen to open the first airwave of the first black-owned radio station in America, WERD.
Right.
He was an icon. No question about him being in the Radio Hall of Fame. Like, he is absolutely someone that I wish I could have met. And you are so blessed to say that you absolutely knew this man. He changed radio. He changed a lot of lives just from his creations alone, creating newsletters, creating the Jack the Rapper convention. And any closing thoughts you would say about Jack?
Only thing I would say is I know that if he was alive today, he would definitely be angry, annoyed at the current state of the music business. I know that because I know I am. A lot of people have put in a lot of blood and sweat and tears in this business. We say we're so disappointed in how the music business has turned out. So I know Jack, knowing the passion that he has, he would feel the same way that we do. That was one of the reasons why everybody that I know, we like Jack. We like, because we loved what we did, even though it had a lot of politics. But despite that, we still loved what we did for a living.
Yeah.
This crazy music business, people loved it. We were on the road a lot. Some holidays we had to spend, we had to be on the road with an artist, especially if they had a current project and they was doing a tour. There was plenty of Christmases and that, I had to leave to go to be with an artist, but I didn't mind. Yo, Jen, thank you for having me on Yo After the Show. And anytime you need more information about, artists that I can help you with or events, things that was really dope in my life, etc., feel free.
Man, thank you, Luther, for joining me on Yo After the Show. I'm so glad you could help me to learn as much as we could squeeze in this short time about Jack the Rapper. He was an icon, and I'm so glad that we could extend this episode 4 about WERD, the first Black-owned radio station in the United States. All right, man. I hope you have a good day, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. Yo, After the Sizzle.
Thanks for joining and hope you learned something today. Catch Yo After the Show, extended content that digs deeper into episodes from Yo, Did You Know? Travelogue web series, following me, Jen Farris, a seasoned film and TV location scout, unveiling history hidden in plain sight. Stay connected at YoDidYouKnowSeries.com.